Is good, guys. Today is April 6th, Monday, 2026. I'm gonna be going over the one trade that I took today and my overall thought process as to how I got there. First of all, though, thank you guys so much for 450 subs. Absolutely insane to think that we're already at that. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So, coming into the day, what was I looking at? Well, I see that we are clearly bullish, but at this time, what are we doing? More, if you zoom in, we have a internal SMT at our ERL, right? If you look at NQ or ES, excuse me, you can see that this high has not been taken yet. So therefore, I'm expecting some sort of rebalance lower to then take us back towards some significant IRL, right? Market moves from ERL to IRL on this leg, back to ERL and then IRL. So we are at this point where we have an SMT. Now I'm expecting some sort of significant retracement into IRL along this leg, which would be right here. Before then trending all the way back to this ERL and low resistance above, right? So you can either trade one or the other. Both of these trades are fine to take. This is going to be the harder trade to take, but if you have experience, then it's just gets easier and easier as you go along. So looking at the 15-minute, what do we have? Well, we have low resistance leading up to London, as well as these data lows, and then above us we have what? Unmitigated 15, 30 minutes, and as well as an intermediate high. Now, if you look at ES, let me go back here to market open. If you look at where ES is at market open, we never actually take these data lows. We just make relative equal lows with them. And the way that I would only trust this SMT to hold is if we just place higher and open up some sort of 5-minute gap that we can then take us to this range high up here, being that 4-hour ERL. Otherwise, I'm expecting this SMT to be weak and fail to then seek out liquidity lower and more significant to then take us back to that ERL above. So what does market open do? Well, at market open, you can see that we trade higher into our first condition being this 15-minute and intermediate high. We then put in a swing low and we get a stop rate of that gap. So from this point, what is our framework? Well, we have this pre-market accumulation at 9:30. We have relative equal lows with data lows on ES. 9:30 does what? Well, all it does is add to this current liquidity pool. We then do what at the highs? Well, we manipulate inside of this 15-minute, 30-minute gap, followed by what? Well, we get a swing low with a stop rate, which is a very good sign for your IFVG entry, right? So all that I'm looking for from here is some sort of invalidation of the bullish bias, because all that we have created is this 1-minute gap as well as a 2-minute gap. We haven't even created a 3, 4, or 5-minute on this entire leg. So there's nothing defending this intermediate low, meaning that this is going to be a weaker, high resistant low. So once we get some sort of confirmation of bullishness failing, I can expect this range low to get hit again. Mainly because on ES, right? ES makes it even more obvious. We start to interact with this bearish gap and immediately do what? We immediately start to flip our bias again back to being bearish. So we hit some sort of bullishness, react until some sort of high time frame significance, and then once we hit that, we immediately see disrespect of the bullish bias. Where do we see that? Well, on this, right, you can see this 30-second gap right here on our current manipulation leg. We have one final little stop rate and sweep of liquidity, followed by what? Instant displacement lower, inversing this 30-second. This is a very healthy candle. We close with a full body, not printing any rejection wicks. Therefore, I'm very confident in the DOL being confirmed at this range low. We have that 9:30 open high, expecting some sort of low close towards something more significant, right? As you can see, ES is now starting to print rejection wicks on that 15-minute. At the time, oh, I need to go back one candle, my fault. At this time, right, ES is now starting to print rejection wicks, respecting this bearish 15-minute gap. This 15-minute gap we are closing back inside of after wicking outside of the range, proving that bearishness is holding and we're starting to disrespect bullish gaps, giving us the idea that we need some sort of higher or more significant IRL, being maybe London or these lows down here, this hourly intermediate low. Either way, I am very confident in this data getting hit. So at that point, I never went break even at this 2-minute unfilled gap. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing so. It's just you might get a break even trade, right? Um, and I just don't want to sacrifice this perfect framework of a trade on something like this, right? I'm already expecting this 2 minute gap to fail. Why would I be going break even at it if it's only going to have the possibility of me getting break even before running to my take profit? So you can see 1 more minute and it's full take profit. So super simple there. From there, I just TP'd at the actual 9:30 opening price and then trailed my stop loss to a 1-to-1. Reasoning for that, my personal conviction, I wanted these London lows, but I also don't want to give up all of this profit that I have made, right? So on my last contract, I want to secure at least a 1-to-1. You can see I trailed it there and then immediately got stopped out for a 1-to-1, but majority of my position was a 1 to 1.2 ish. Yeah, 1 to 1.2. So very happy with that. Pretty simple trade, right? It's just going from condition to condition, expecting the rebounds before the expansion higher. And now, right after this manipulation leg, right, we now get our new manipulation inside this 1 hour, sweeping out the data lows, followed by what? A 2 minute inversion. So this is another really good trade to take. If you took this, this is also fantastic. Um, because now you are aligned in that high time frame distribution rather than trading the manipulation down like I did. So from there, that played out, and then after that point, you should be off for the day, right? Why? Well, because we've taken both high time frame objectives, right? We are trending up. We now have a IRL hit being this, excuse me, intermediate low, followed by what? Our ERL hit. So we have both objectives met on the day. Both of our conditions were met. We have this IRL that got hit. What do we expect after that? ERL. This is all that you should be confident in, right? After that, you need price to play out even more to then decide whether we are going to rebounds lower than that, maybe this hourly intermediate low, a more obvious swing low, or if we're going to go towards this buy side liquidity on the 4 hour and finally start to go on a liquidity run up there. But nonetheless, very simple day to day. If you took either of those, really good job. Both are fantastic trades to take. If you enjoyed, like, comment, sub, all the good things. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Means the world to me. If you want to join free Discord, I go over live recaps in here. And yeah, if any questions, comment below or DM me, and I'll try to answer those. Hope you guys have a great rest of your trading week and a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Peace.